Well, in London, NIP are one map away from potentially making it back to a major. If they do, Henry, it'll be the first time in 4 majors that my nipples at the after party are not the only nips present at the major, which would be rather impressive, but Ence want to try and stop them.
They absolutely do. NIP going on to Inferno, it's a map they're both very good at.
I tried to leave that flag on my shirt today, actually.
Yeah?
That was the Red Cross. That's what I was doing.
St. George's flag, yeah?
St. George's, thank you.
Well, there we go. It will be NIP on Inferno now, but this is Ence's pick. I'd say this will be their best map as well. They school people on this one. They look incredibly sharp. They've got great mixture of fast-paced strategy, slow defaults, and this is where you see Allo do a lot of work as well. It should be a lot of fun. We'll see what happens here. The 9th round's about to begin. Remember, it's NIP that are 1 map up. If they win this, they go into the major and the grand final.
Yes, absolutely. Grand final still to follow. Optic is already there, but this one in some ways matters more.
Sure. This is the most important one. The grand final, great. You're going to get a 30k paycheck if you win. That's fantastic. No one's going to be upset with that, but the main reason they're here is to get to that major in September, which is happening in this city where I'm right now. Not this part of London, but it'll be more central.
Well, part of it is the Challenger stage.
That's in Twickenham. That is true.
So
I guess that's the what used to be the main qualifier, right?
That's
then
right.
we get to the what's the next stage? The Champions, the Legends sector, then the Champions sector. Legends will be done from Wembley Arena.
That's correct.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Iconic venues here. Nothing but the best from FACEIT as we get into the first round of the second map. Ence will start on the CT side. It's a valuable asset to have on your side. We'll see if it works out for them as we get ready for the first round. Dennis with the P250 armor combo. And we're off. Alexi with the diffuse kit flashbang combo.
Shots from Aerial.
He came off worse from it though.
He does. Barely touch Dennis and gets far more damage in return. Seven does try and tap back to Forest. Alexei does manage to pull one onto Dennis. We didn't quite catch that, but still, that's the opening kill. Ence with the advantage, therefore, on the CT side. Aerial will hold from the broken wall. Back. Point landed, get right with 2. Good start, jumping in. Little 360 action, but not the no-scope. Put your Doritos back in the bag, Henry. Alu gets the kill instead. It gives the advantage still to Ence, but the bomb is planted, and Forest and Lycro have a crossfire set up inside of the site that leaves us with lucky number 11.
Here he comes. Will he be able to pull this one off? He has not got the kit and no longer has a head. Lycro removes it, and it will be 1-0 for NIP. You can see they're looking out. First time I think I've seen them genuine smiles on their face this entire tournament. It's been a rough tournament in terms of they've had plenty of wins and map victories. It's just not as convincing as they would like. They've been very stressful games. Let's see Dennis looking happy there as we'll get a 1-0 start, and Ence will have a force buy in response. These rounds have been problematic for both sides. We'll see what happens here. Ence will have CZ's 1 Deagle, Alu saving some cash for the AWP. Played this map against Optic earlier. Here's Alu, ready for a 1 Deag. There's his players just past his vision. Down he goes though. Sergey trying to make things happen here. They get another dink, and that's going to be Reds falling back. He can't challenge that anymore, and they're going to try and hunt him down. Can't hold them off. This is looking promising now for Ence.
Yeah, turn around yet again. Close in the first. Couldn't close the first. Now they're getting closer in the second. Aerial damage done. Alexi needs to capitalize. He was slow in the first map. Does manage to get the shot off. He'll swing back through, but Get Right instead is able to sort him out inside of the smoke, giving Lycro a chance with the AK. And once again, they're going to come close, but come up shy. Now keep in mind, both of these rounds being close. Pissed around not so much because there's no investment, but this one especially is going to take a number of guns out of the hands of NIP, so everything Zevin can do is beneficial if he can get Lycro as well. Get Right's only with 6 HP. Lycro knows that and can't peek. Look at the shadow.
He's got to avoid all the bullets, so 1 bullet will take him down as well. He's got no bullets left in the magazine, unfortunately. Down he'll go. And was the force buy from Ence, but NIP worth of the storm as they'll find themselves up against a full eco now. 3-0 on the T side. When you're already a map up, looking to book a space in the major, that's absolutely everything. At one point, Get Right would have been disappointed not to win the thing. The major, that is, and now trying to claw their way back into it after missing so many. This is looking good, though. Good nade towards top of middle. That's got a ton of damage. a frag in response, but there's just the one. There it is. Reds to get a kill with the Mac 10, farm some cash. The rest of them just mowing them down, get the round out of the way. That's absolutely fine. Alu can afford AWP and helmet. He probably goes for Kevlar for a smoke. I take it back. Didn't want it. I guess he knows there was a Mac 10 in the previous round. Wants to protect himself. Feel more comfortable. Have the smoke to work around though. First gun round here. Remember, they did force buy in the second, so far from ideal. It's not as bad as it could be though. I think a couple of players didn't get armor. One defuse kit. That's on Sergey.
Micro. UMP in hand will wait for his teammates to get in boiler before making any commitment either direction. There is two on top of the balcony for Ence. One below. So none toward Arch side. We haven't seen a lot of Arch today. So Inferno already once in the previous series.
You can see a heavy stack from Ence towards quad. They've got two players on the balcony here just to try and trick their opposition. They might not even need it. First kill, but you'd assume they won't check the balcony again. Reds, that's exactly what's supposed to happen. Sergey might be able to get another one here. Right, can't trade him out, but Forrest certainly can. 3 versus 2 now, as the other two CTs have now lost the kit. They've got to try and retake the site as they're Molotov off from library. No grenades remaining for NIP, but Ence have got incendiaries and smokes. We'll see what they can do with them. One flashbang picked up for Get Right, and now they've got the trifecta of doom set up. Dennis above the flames as he goes with the first headshot, and he completely nails it. Takes down Alexi Bob, and that will just be X7 left in a 3-on-1, and he'll fall back.
Let's not forget that Ence struggled against Optic on this map.
Certainly did.
So Nip may have seen that, may have picked it for that reason, but they're comfortable with themselves on Inferno, and they've already got a 4-0 start on the T side. And this is map 2. I said they picked it, excuse me, Ence actually did. Nip had overpass. That's
yeah.
right. So even more interesting perhaps, but Zevin will save the weapon at the very least. Temptation might be there to force around it. I say maybe armor, maybe pistols, that's it. That's all they can really afford because it's going to be the maximum loss bonus, keep themselves around the 2K mark. Maybe even a little higher in some cases, which would maybe bring out an AWP in the next round. They're going to be a little shy of that.
Great job there by Rez. Even though it was 2 players on the balcony, he still nails the play on the bomb site before he went down. So that wasn't a problem whatsoever. First bit of damage being inflicted. Forrest will finish him off with the Molotov throw in the corner as he gets the double kill. This is looking quite confident now from the Ninjas as Get Right gets ready. Not going to be pushing any further than that for now. Wants to make sure he's disciplined here. He knows there's a tight choke point. There could be CZs in there. I love that. Respect it. And he's rewarded with a kill for his patience. Alu will get one back in return. And maybe another one here as well as the bomb dropped. But 2 versus 1. They get 3 kills with P250s in a very quick manner. But still, I don't think there's any chance to win the round. Alu would have to do something absolutely magical at this point. It's an open plan with the smoke down on CT spawn. He has got armor. But saving the AK, this seems more beneficial at this point instead of throwing that away. Wants to at least explore his options. That smokes now. That suggests that's probably the end of it. And indeed, he will fall back.
So Ali rotates back into A to save the gun. It's Nip going to be up 4-0. He'll save an AK, which is beneficial. Has a little bit of armor as well. So at 2850 based on the kills, he can give that AK away. At 2400 going into his pocket, there is a chance they actually bring out the AWP now for Ence, which they may need to do because they are desperate to get on the board. 5-0 isn't tragic. It's essentially you lose the pistol and you lose the first gun. The problem is that it's the T side of Inferno.
Exactly. Well, this happened to Ence before, I believe, against Optic. They were 5-0 down and came back in emphatic fashion. Let's see if that works out for them this time. Five rifles for Ence. Alu saving the AK from the previous round. Will be happy to use that as Rez challenges Banana once again. Tucks himself in, waits for the initial utility. Top's deployed. Let's see what X7 can do. Good grenades towards Log, but Rez there, and he'll now get himself in that position knowing they've run out of grenades. Get right into the apartments here. Ariel not on the balcony this time, just waiting beneath at the hay bales. Red's going to try and strike off that. Focuses towards quad. He's got out, but I don't think he's long for this world. can fall back. That would probably be his best move, and indeed he does. Keeps 3 at the A bomb site as they fully commit. Smokes a little bit too late, and Rez punishes them for it. Alexi's actually removed, so GetRight's done a fantastic job there. Not only did he pull a rotation up from B, he called 3 players at the A bomb site, and that should be round. I don't think there's even a justification to try and go for this retake, and it will be 6-0 as GetRight. Sure, he doesn't get any kills, Matt, but he actually wins the round. That's kind of a bizarre thing to say, but it's good movement. Strafes out of the apartments, gets them in a passive crossfire. They lose information as to how many are there. Calls for Alexi to rotate, and then X7 alone in the B bomb site.
This is an interesting setup. Okay, fair enough. They're going to separate it a bit. I thought they were going to go 3 in pit. Instead, it's going to be 2 in site, 2 in pit to save it. And they have to. They have to keep all the guns up. Problem with 3 in pit is that it's easy to swarm them from both sides if they came through library. There's no one really that close on the pursuit, so it ultimately won't amount to anything, but it could have been an awkward situation if NIP wanted to put more pressure on. Still, though, 6-0. The rounds are being decided early.
They are. You're absolutely right there. And one man was everything, and he got 0 kills. I like to point out those little nuances that might not be so apparent, but that was all GetRight. Heaton just tweeted out, 1 more map, for the love of God, please. It's been a while, you know. He's heavily involved in the organization, one of the founding members of the name. So far, so good. As they watch anxiously at home. But he's right, 1 more map will do it.
Yep, absolutely.
And so far, so good.
And you can get the Ninja Star back on your gun.
The Shuriken?
Shuriken, sorry, thank you for correcting me. I'm more partial to samurais.
Yeah, fair enough, not ninjas.
No, not ninjas.
Okay. AWP for Alu. And we'll look at the scoreboard while we're here. 1 and 5 X7 aerial, not same storyline. Alu with the highest amount of frags on 4, and we're on round number 7. And we'll get boosted up to look towards T steps. This looks promising though. Does it, Henry? Well, Electro
I like that you asked yourself that question.
Yeah, it looked like he had the perfect lineup, and he just got absolutely wrecked. So that's a nice shot from Lekra. They keep getting these nice opening kills like that. GetRight gets the second. That's Sergey going down in the apartments. He really is causing a nuisance for them. He'll be taken down, but that's going to cause some sort of reaction here as all 4 players for NIP start barreling up towards quad. No tactics here. Stick together. Brute force your way in towards the bomb site. Aerial might be get the double spray down, make it a triple. That's absolutely fantastic by him. Goes down to the 2 versus 1, but they still have work to do yet. Reds will go for the safe plant. 4 kills for Aerial in this round.
Huge, huge. Making up for his last map, absolutely. 5 kills in total now for him, but this one might finally go Ence's way, and it's all due to him. Someone else just needs to get killed. Just 1 player, and Zevin will do it. They'll get on the bomb. Ence get 1 on the board. 2 players staying alive. 6-1. Time to get that CT side rolling, boys.
Took a 4-man spray down. Well, 3 after the initial kill in the apartments, but still, with a silenced M4 getting 3 kills in a spray, when you only have 20 bullets in the clip, that's impressive. But this shot maybe even more so. That was wonderful from him. Aerial, though, this was what stole the show. They were focused so heavily on the pits that no one expected him to be there. Ideally, if they went a bit slower and smoked the site first, potentially could have focused a bit more on the pit itself, but this is all 2020 hindsight. Double AWP set up for the first time from Ence now. It'll be Alexi Bob with Alu, as they'll send him towards the B area. Alu will hold middle. So trying to challenge a little bit more actively at B now, but just taking a nade right in the face there. Alexi might have to fall back towards CT, hold a more defensive line. Could be the final map of this series. GetRight wasn't as pretty as what he's done so far. Nades himself and touches a bit of fire, but it's still fine. Alexi now just hoping someone will challenge that corner. Forest has got the AWP this time.
So Alexi's still holding the corner. Win gets them to a double AWP, and why not go all in, because the reset looms either way. Seven tries to do everything he can toward Banana, but ultimately has to fall back to the site. This does bring the AWP back out. Forced through the wall. Gets the lineup perfect, and down goes Alexi. The first AWP gone already.
Just goes to show you how effective that grenade was at the start. I think that wallbang was possible. Sergey will get one back in return. 4 versus 4. Bomb making its way towards B. Reds and Forest already in position, but so is Aloe. He rotates in effectively. Drops the flashbang. Forrest has to give up his position and hope that Allo peeked on it. Dennis, though, I like this. He's actually snuck all the way towards Library. He's heard Allo. You can see that adjustment. Definitely heard a footstep. He knows what's coming. But can he get the timing right? I don't think so. Allo's about to peek and takes him down.
Forrest rotating back toward B instead. AWP no bomb. It's getting down to the bottom of middle now, so Forrest needs to clear. 7 absolutely has hurt him. Smoke, unfortunately, means they won't be able to get him. And you're right, 6 seconds, it doesn't matter about Forrest. It matters about Lekro. 7 pops back out, manages to find him. Time gone. Forrest needs to stay alive. He'll watch one side, not both of the box. Don't give himself up. Just barely gets away with it. And Ence find a second straight round, avoiding the reset.
There we go. This was the kill from Forrest. It was actually through the wall, through the smoke. That's pretty insane. There we go. 7. Job done now. 2 in a row. They definitely avoid the reset. Actually got a decent bankroll now. 2 AKs on the CT side. Always beneficial. Allo dropping a flashbang over. Checks towards the bottom of the middle. No one there, but he'll be flashed in return by the looks of things. Has to fire off a shot and fall back. They'll be aware of his tendencies. They played enough Inferno with Allo.
Oh yeah, loves to get aggressive toward the mid position. Look at the lineup behind the smoke. Just waiting to go through and nearly getting caught out by Sergey. Do respond in time. Rez gets him down. Allo as well. Aerial in the pit, in the open of the pit though, because he's in transition. That catches them out. Catches them out indeed. Another 3 kills from Aerial, looking absolutely stellar toward the B site.
Oh, he's actually got 4 more kills. He's carrying them on that A site.
And I misspoke last time. I called him out for the last map. It was Alexi that had the poor last map. He was great still.
You're right. Forrest, though, this isn't impossible for him. Oh, he jumps on the bomb, so that's actually really smart. And it works out for him. Finds the first kill. We'll hear the footsteps now. And he can actually do this. He does. Forrest wins him a crucial round just when it looked like it's about to fall apart. You can see the look of disappointment. Pitt is loving it. That's it, boys. Let's get fired up. Finally, they're showing some signs of emotion. As we'll see Aerial. This is a bit of a heartbreaking to watch it back now, considering they didn't win the round, but you can't argue with that. I actually haven't seen many people jump on that box before in those sort of situations. Using the smoke very effectively. You don't anticipate him to be that high up. Gets the first kill, nails the second shot. Bit of masterclass there from Patrick as a double kill comes in. That is having a lot of fun now, map. Everything's going right for them. They've got a round guaranteed already. That's the B bomb side open. It'll be planted any second. They can't really take that.
No, guns have to be saved at this point in time due to the money, so they'll back away. Lekro will join his team and bring the bomb. The special delivery. Lekro will get there now safely after a few nades from Alexi trying to do. Or they're trying to be annoying, not really trying to do anything, because like you say, the other guns are already got. They can't retake it. Interestingly enough as well, Get Right is already over here, as you might expect. The best part about expecting Get Right is that even when you do, you still don't exactly expect where specifically he will be. So he has a chance to catch these guns off. One to his right. Sergey seems to be ready for it. Get Right checks the first corner, up, shoulder, bait the shots. He doesn't actually go slow. That costs him to get the information as to where they are. And Dennis wants to be next in line. Sneaks in before Aerial could spot him, which means he might get to the hallway, but Molotov instead, he goes back knowing Aerial's pinched in and catches him out.
This is perfect from an IP. Bleed them out, leave them with nothing. Taking no prisoners.
Oh, does Dennis get there in time? Not quite. I didn't think so, but
they have to eco here. They've got 2 rifles. I guess, considering the context of the situation, maybe they do force buy this one. We'll see. I doubt it, if I'm honest. But there's a chance. Allo's been given a 5-7. They'll go for the partial investment here. It's not looking good, friends.
Forrest and Rez, as well as Get Right, will all take around the corner. Sergey and Alexi holding off. Oh no, Sergey, that's unfortunate. That's a nade in the hand, not a gun. One of the bushes worth 2 in the hand. 7, forced out by the smoke. Micro jumps up, bomb to the open position, doesn't want to go default for nades. Knowing that without guns, nades the most likely damage dealers, and Zevin will do everything in his power to try and get back toward the ruins, toward the chapel, but already it looks like Alu wants his armor. Doesn't have a lot of money residually, so he's only got 1350. Bonus will only be in its third state as of next round, so 2400 on top of that. Not a perfect situation for the CT side, as NIP look to close in on their 9th. You can start the countdown. It is the first half, so I don't like to count rounds to the end until you see the momentum in the second and you get rolling. But if you're an NIP fan and you've waited this long to get back to a major, you might as well start now. 7 to go after this round, and they'll be back.
AK. Ariel just a USP. That was the partial bite. Money's still not amazing. With the saved AK, they should be able to get full rifles, I believe. We'll have a little technical pause. It's working out all the details are here. It's a TeamSpeak issue. That's quite trivial. I'm sure it will be resolved momentarily. As we'll wait for that now. The admin's just getting in. So no chatting here. Chance to have some water. Maybe a banana.
Everyone loves a banana.
Exactly. But I'll have a look at the scoreboard while we've got some time here. It will be Forrest at the top. What a couple of last few rounds he's had. Amazing stuff. Really did drive the smell of victory home once he got that 2 versus 1 with the AWP. Crushed the morale of Ence, and now Ali doesn't have the AWP, and he's currently set on 6 and 7.
Holding bottom side cubby at Banana. Wants to see what further utility will be deployed in his direction so far. One Molotov deep. There's one thrown in return the other direction, as we can see. And Rez will start to work up the wall, trying to avoid flashes. Forrest is trying to avoid him, will fire behind through the wall in hopes that he can replicate the success he had just a few rounds ago when the double op setup was in play for Ence. No ops this time, because there wasn't the money.
Big round here. If NIP can get 10-2 and potentially sabotage the money again, it could all be over. Dennis continues his strong form. He's definitely in the conversation for MVP of this tournament for me. Looks very, very good. Saved them a number of times. This particular round opens things up. The smoke could dissipate though. We'll see if Ali can get the timing right. Unfortunately, they've already got towards quad before we'll have a chance to do anything about it. One player on the A side now. That's going to be Sergey. He's incredibly good. Can he live up to the potential that Ariel has displayed on the site? Smoke down. That's the smoke they were missing before. They'll spray wildly and receive nothing but bullets. The bomb's down towards top of middle, though, so that's going to buy them some time. Get ready to knife out and grab that, but the flames are there. But so is Dennis. He's patrolling absolutely everything right now. 2 versus 2. Bomb recovered. Alu on the other side of the map. And Alexei is the only player of HP as he gives his position up. Bomb will be planted for 8 seconds to spare. He tried to deny it the best he could. No nades for the CTs apart from the flashbang just recovered. What do we think? It's looking too good for Lecro's position. The fact that Alu's low HP feels like that's a guaranteed kill. Not quite, but they're both very low now. 2 versus 1.
Yeah, good play. Alexei sliding in to find Lecro. Gives us get right, but one bullet will do it for either target. Ran for that bomb and gets away with it. Spots Alu, that's easy. That gives up the information. Alexei couldn't hit the headshot though over the box. Still time for him to do it, but get right controls it.
Calm. That was good. You can see the sigh of relief. It's a high pressure situation, especially when you peek up at a box like that. One dink will take you down from that AK.
If Alu is the emotionless, get right somewhere at the opposite end.
Sure. He's very emotionally invested. He looks calm there. Obviously the scoreline helps out. But him winning that round, really solidifying their chance of making the major. He knows it. He's had a great day today. Definitely criticised him throughout the tournament for looking out of shape. But as we said yesterday, he's been grinding the deathmatch and spending a lot of hours in the practice room and is showing the last 2 days. And that's really broken the back of Ence now. You can feel their chances of being back here in London in a few weeks slipping away. Round by round, they've got $3,000 per player. Alu with a little bit more purchases a scout. And it looks like they're going to be eco again, though. This is far from ideal on their map pick. We went 3 maps in the first series this morning. This is the 5th map Ence have played today. The 2nd for an IP.
Scout doesn't land. Forest will push up. And it goes out. Oh, wow. 7 damage, and Forest just destroys him. Nowhere to go with that Molotov behind him.
He can't do anything there. Get right. Again, patience. Paying off, and he might even get the double kill here. Aerial's there around the corner. CZ so deadly at that range, and he won't be checking up. There we go. 5 on 2 should be another round. 11-2. Had to take the eco where ends just to have money for the last 2 rounds. Alu, Scout. 5 players towards quad. Even if he gets 1 kill here, he'll be completely destroyed with the Molotovs flying in. Doesn't make the shot, and he'll burn to a crisp. And Alexi with the CZ. 5 versus 1, they're all full HP and the bomb's down.
Micro. Plants, and 11-2. Nip are running away, and Ence, their hopes with a young team, the new build, their dreams of a major slipping away. And I have to say, as good as it will be to see Nip there, it is a tough situation because Ence, I think, are equally as worthy, and it's unfortunate they can't be there with us.
At least that's what it looks like.
The cookie crumbles.
Yeah,
yeah, you're right. Sorry. That's concluding that we continue on in this fashion.
Yes, it's really not looking good.
It's possible. I mean, look, we've seen it already in this event with Red Reserve, that anything is possible.
Yes.
So 11-2.
We'll save a CZ armor. They can buy this round. I think you're all aware, it goes without saying, that they do need these last 2 rounds. You've heard us discuss the gravity of the situation. Double off setup. Alu and Alexi Bob.
Alu. And 7 on the other side of it. We'll try and slow things down. Alexi again has the 2nd AWP back toward B as well with it, so they want to try and let Alu control the pace from the top side of the mid wall. He hasn't really had the chance to do so. Speaking of pace and a little bit of grace, Rez comes around and takes down Alexi with a great flash, catching him out just before his vision was gone. Ariel flirting with the smoke, has Get Right on the other side of it. Little does he know, flash in, that won't matter. Get Right saw that coming, or at least heard it bounce, and that was enough to look away.
Sergey, last real chance because the double spray down, but he's stuck in the quad, can't get 3, and now double orbs to defend. Alu is fantastic in these sort of positions, but he gets blind, misses the shot. Good try, bomb still down, so he's got a little bit of time here. They'll re-smoke as there was a gap there, want to deny all vision for Alu. It'll be Forrest coming through with the bomb now towards the apartments. He's got the call that the smoke is down, so he can just jump out comfortably and go for the default plan by the looks of things. They'll be right on the edge of the bomb site. They have got a kip, and they've dropped one of the AWPs. X7 now with the M4. Alu still can't find the shot. Another smoke comes in, but the gap is there once again, not perfectly thrown. I'm not sure this is possible. It's the same trifecta. One in the graveyard, one in the pit, one in the site. Incendiary in. X7 has to go for this now, but Get Right bests him, and Alu will burn 1. But I think that's it. He hasn't got the kit, he's got the AWP. He knows he has to try and win this one. It's just not possible anymore. He'll have to fall back. It's going to be 12-2.
Unbelievable.
He goes down
and
as
gone.
well.
That's even worse. I mean, this is NIP. Just, they've had enough.
Yeah, manhandling them now.
So last round of the half, and they'll buy what they can, and Ence to a mean, if you will, Henry.
Indeed. Feels like this one has already been decided. Ence has had nothing on Inferno. It's been a long tournament, 4 days of lots of maps, long schedule, close games, and it does take a lot out of you as they rush towards middle. But Sergey now left in the 3 versus 1. We're looking for 13-2 on the T side of Inferno. And NIP are going to find it. That is a death sentence for Ence.
That's impossible. I mean, you lose the pistol, you lose the whole thing. Yep. It's done.
17 kills we get right in the first half. What a performance.
Yeah, well, you talk about emotion. You talk about the guy who's the most disappointed every time they don't make a major. That's taking matters into his own hands, and that deserves credit.
It'll be nice to see him happy for once. It's been a while.
What's that mean, Henry?
Just like since I've had success, it's just been so long, you know. Like,
even when you're positive, you're negative. He finally does something.
It's just
like, nice to see him happy
it's
for
just
once.
like normally when I speak to him, it's just after they've crashed out of groups. It's like,
true,
hey
yeah,
man,
no,
it's gonna be all right. You need some more time. I'm just got bored of that conversation. Now I can finally give him a hug and say like, did it. We've done it. We can have some practice now. You got a grand final coming up. Enjoy it.
It is true. He wears his heart on his sleeve when it comes to Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
You can always tell what he's thinking or how he feels about a certain situation with NIP. With their performance, 13-2 NIP. Speaking of, will have the defensive side with no kits. They want to win this on kills.
You're right. It's going to take something rather special now from the Finnish squad. The second tournament this year turned everyone's heads at Cologne. They got so close to the major here. They're going to take the B bomb site by the looks of things, but is it even possible at this point to recover this deficit? Get right, bit of damage there, couldn't find the headshot. Hensalo in the neck by the looks of things to take 30 points of health away. Dennis, you don't want to challenge him, but maybe you do. He misses the shot, and they'll actually pincer towards a B bomb site through CT spawn. Rez and Get Right to defend.
Get Right doing everything that he can to do damage as they wrap around, giving up CT. It's a problem, but they've got Rez to cut off one. Get Right, smart read, better shot, takes down Alu as well. In reverse,
careful,
as he holds off Banana as well. But you're right, Rez is alone, needs the efficiency, needs the rotation force, finds it, goes to a knife, goes to a knife. They've both got the knife out, but it is perhaps the final blow from NIP as they get 14, winning the pistol with a sharp edge.
So no bomb going down. Get Right. Looking so calm and collected, he knows he has to deliver today. Two fantastic shots coming in from him. And you can see the awkward exchange towards the very end. Rez comes out on top, inserts the blade into the chest of his opposition, and we'll have CZ's armor, one smoke, and a flashbang. Lose this round. It's elimination point, a major point for NIP. So, have Ence got anything left?
Rez down through the smoke will push Banana. Alu, bottom side of Boiler. He'll then work out with Aerial, and they've got to go and make it convincing. They've already lost one. Lycro with the kill. Gets positioned inside of the site as well. He and Dennis to spray them down. Forrest adds one in, and it's one round before NIP return. First time since Cologne 2016 they'll be in a major.
It's absolutely true. Had their hearts broken a few times. But this looks like an almost done deal. There's no world I can see where NIP are going to the major now. 15-2, ladies and gentlemen, at this point. It's not a matter of if, it's when. One Deagle, one CZ, almost no grenades, and Dennis isn't going to be slowing down. He's playing to win this. Oh, okay, well, that should be traded out anyway. Sergey's done for. Don't want to be too aggressive here. Let's play to win the round. Go towards quad. Forrest got their number though. They'll have to run through the flames, and it feels like this will be the end. They've got a good crossfire here. One kill from X7, 3 versus 1. He needs to 1D here in the pit. Not going to find it, has to reload. That's going to be at 1 HP. Ladies and gentlemen, the second team heading to the major. It's taken them a while. It's been a couple of years of hurt, but they're going. And there's the emotional man we talked about, Get Right. It's been a really difficult season for them, and finally, some good news for. You have to remember, this is just getting to the major, but you can see how much it means to them.
Absolutely. I mean, Chris didn't go ecstatic. He's just absolutely reflective. You can almost see he's a little tearful. Yeah, he will. And same with Pizza. Pizza's already crying. He's led them back. Remember, he led them to the victory as a coach before, but Pizza's just as happy to have led them back. Something, not to take anything away from Threat, but they haven't done until he did return. So well done from NIP. They are back at a major. Still top 24, which they have had in that time, but they make it through a minor, and officially they will have stickers on guns. They will be in London.
I feel a bit emotional now seeing
again,
that.
They're here now.
That was kind of beautiful.
That was nice. It's good to see. Unfortunately, I have to say, I mean, Ence, Sergey looks amazing for his age. We got this finally seen. We didn't get to see them in the flesh in Cologne. Aerial awesome. Alu's looking on form still. I mean, this team is going to be good. There's no question. I could see them actually breaking top 15 at times, no question, in overall rankings, let alone upsets of performance in events.
They can hold their heads high. They've done nothing wrong this tournament. They've had a great showing. Unfortunately for them, the minor system and where teams have fallen off and new teams have formed, like Optic, they have to meet some unfortunate opposition. You had Optic, NIP, and the underdogs Ence in there. We'd have loved to have seen them there. We wish we could have all three. But it feels like after that performance, we've got the two right teams here, and Ence are going to need a little bit more experience and know how to handle that pressure. That was not the same team we've seen throughout the tournament on Inferno just then.
Well, there is still a matter of potential seeding toward the major, but more importantly, the $30,000 out of a $50,000 prize pool that we have to settle. So that means before we go back to the desk, I must tell you, Optic will play NIP in a grand final coming up, best of 3. With that, I think we're actually going to go to an interview soon, Henry. Do you know the deal?
We're going to throw it over to Parla, who I'm sure is with a very happy, very emotional NIP player. Parla, over to you.
Thank you very much, Henry and Matt. A huge congratulations to you, Lecro, and your team Ninjas in Pyjamas on that victory. It puts you in the grand final of the FACEIT European Minor. And of course, that means guaranteeing you a spot at the FACEIT Major in September. Young man, how does that sound?
Amazing. I'm just so happy right now.
And for you and your team, I mean, of course, you're a recent addition to this squad, but for the Ninjas as an organisation, and for some of these guys that have been on the team for so long, it's been 2 years since they've had an opportunity to do this. And so does that give you an extra bit of motivation? Does it give you extra passion for what's about to come in about a month's time?
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, I haven't really thought about just making the major for the other guys as much as I did before today, because I knew like one best of 3 away from getting into the major who NIP has missed for a few times now. So I know how much it means to everyone, and I'm just really happy to be able to go there with them.
Yeah. Dennis, would we be able to talk to you at all, sir? If we could have you over just for a couple of words. We haven't spoken to you for the whole tournament, and I don't want to interrupt if you're busy, but I'd love to get your feelings right now as well, because you are a veteran of the scene. You've been through multiple high-tier, top tier 1 teams, and now you've secured a major again with NIP this time.
It feels good. I was confident that we were going to win, so I'm used to it.
Okay, and in what way were you confident? You know, Ence have had a good tournament. So far at this tournament, you've only dropped a best of 1 to Sprout and then a best of 3 against your next opponent's Optic.
Actually, I kind of felt like that. We're very strong individuals. And we really hadn't got to our, top level. This game we did, and yeah, it just shows what we can do.
And when you're looking at Peter and, for instance, Christopher right now, who are feeling so emotional, and this obviously was of crucial importance to your team, them and their careers, does that make you even more excited about qualifying to the major and getting to the grand final here?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it feels very good. I'm very happy for them.
Awesome. Well, Dennis, would you like to say anything else to the fans at home? You guys, of course, have to get ready for the grand final shortly.
Yeah, just keep cheering. Peter is really good. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Dennis, and congratulations to the Ninjas.
Yes, indeed. Congratulations to the Ninjas in Pyjamas. While they do have one more best of 3 today, they have secured a big one here with this victory over Ence. And with that, they will be going on the main major qualifier.
We have the top 24 now. Look, I think this has to go without saying. It's obviously very emotional times. You saw Gerard there, you saw Peter there. That this is, it means a lot to them and the organization to get back to a major after so long. And it was kind of the best time for them to have their best performance of the tournament and the worst time for Ence to just completely go missing. And there's going to be heartbreak on that side of the wall as well.
And you say the best time, and actually we had done some calculations and just how long it has been. A 745-day drought for the Ninjas in Pyjamas in terms of the majors.
I know something about droughts that long, but bloody hell, that's a long time to be out of the major, isn't it, for historical, I guess, names that are synonymous with Counter-Strike and glory of Gerard and Forest. But you saw there how much, like I said again, how much it meant to them and how much it means to them to be back into this. And they did it in style. You saw them stepping up, Gerard with clutches of old, Forest, with some crazy plays. The fact of the matter was they clicked at the right time. And that really showed in the server. It definitely showed in the server. Maniac, other than, the sort of elation that you could see here now that we can all rejoice around nip stickers in the game, what are your takeaways about Ninjas in Pyjamas going forward?
Well, here is the thing: if they can reproduce this map here, if they can do it on very maps against different teams, then suddenly they look much more dangerous. This was, I think, the one time we've seen NiP where everything clicks, where individuals show up, they win the clutches. They also have, in my opinion, a good game plan that they execute pretty well. So this is basically the best version of NiP we have seen. I think it's also like the mark of a great player to be able to put this performance when it matters the most. We've been talking about experience, and for me, this was what happened here.
They definitely put a lot into that emotionally as well, though. Like that, I don't want to make the whole thing about emotions as a game of Counter-Strike, right? But this is where we talked about the potential for Ence to crumble, and the lack of experience in the roster and the not rising to the occasion, whereas NIP definitely did the opposite. They knew what was on the line, they knew it was at stake, and they rose to this situation, and they took it with both hands.
They definitely took it with both hands, in pure yoy, one might say. They are very, very happy and very content over there. But like I said, this isn't the end of the road for them today. They're still battling for that first spot in the podiums here within the minor of the European region.
Yeah, so Optic could go up against them in probably about, 15-20 minutes time, mind you, and that's going to be for the #1 spot, which is 30k. If you come second, you get 15. Both teams have spots in the majors. I don't want to downplay this by any means. I think that how much NIP just put on the line emotionally there, they've really probably gassed themselves, right?
Yeah.
Because that, you have to think, like, the feeling that they have right now is that they've completed their goal.
Yeah.
No matter that they have to play a grand final right now, they've completed their goal. They've achieved what they've come in to achieve.
But the reality is they didn't fold under pressure, and this is no faking under pressure. Is that right, Chad?
No faking under pressure. Yeah, no faking under pressure.
Maniac.
No, that's all right. Don't worry, I got you. Well, yeah, the thing is, I think for once NIP came into this game with a very good game plan that actually worked, and we're about to show an example of the kind of depth of the playbook that we hadn't seen before that. So this is actually an A fake that NIP used. I think it was 6-0 for them against Ence, and this is basic fake, let's put it this way, but it's well executed. So you have the players from second mid throwing the smokes over the A side. Get right jumps out of apps. He makes basically what he needs to do, which is a lot of noise. He attracts a lot of attention onto him. And what happens is it brings the rotation back from the second player on B. And NIP, as you're going to see, are going to hit the best timing possible. When they go in, there's only one Ence player. The second one is already out of position. He cannot help anything to this situation. From this point, I mean, they have the side, they have the smokes, they have the number advantage. It's pretty much done deal for them.
Yeah.
I think there are two conditions for such a fake to work like this. The first one is, in the previous gun rounds, NIP had found a lot of successes with open kills onto the A side. The consequence of that was that Ence player, they had to play a little bit more back on the S side, so they lost information as to what was happening middle. So basically, when fake happens, they don't really know. Is it 2 people? Is it 3 people middle? If they had this aggressive position, they would have seen it was a fake. The other thing is, like we would said, under pressure. I think if this fake happens when Ence are playing in their home, in the relaxed atmosphere, maybe they realize, wait a second, this is just one confirmed enemy. There's no kill happening. Maybe we shouldn't move. But this is going to a major.
Yeah, so much on the line, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and they did a really good job getting this done here. I think that this was a great showing at the end. There was a lot of speculation about just how Lekro will move these new chess pieces around under his control. Now, we saw a rough NiP earlier in this week.
Yep.
And coming into today, yes, I think they're going to have that same sentiment where it's like, you know what, we're in the major now. Yes, we do have one more match to play, but that is a heap of weight off your shoulders.
Yeah, mission accomplished, I guess. And at this point, they can just play this grand final very loose. They can just go into it with a balls to the wall attitude. But I don't want to paint this picture like, oh, Ence had a fantastic tournament. Ence did a great job. I think they definitely reconfirmed what we learned about them at ESL1 Cologne. But this whole situation, I'm sure you've had games like this as well, and I've had major qualifiers. I think MLG Columbus is one that sticks out for me. Is like this whole thing has gone by so quickly. That Inferno game, their pick, a 16-2 scoreline. It's like when you drop your telephone and it's in slow motion and you can just see it and you're thinking it's going to crack on the floor. And that's kind of what that game is going to now feel like for these guys. It's gone past so quickly and they couldn't do anything to stop it. They just were completely and utterly helpless. And mentally, that's such a horrible position to be in because these are the things that keep you up at night. You're going to go to bed and that's all you're going to think about.
A true Monka situation on our hands here. Now, I guess I have to do this because it only is fitting to do a quick head-to-head comparison of X7 and Force. We highlighted them before this game started, and perhaps now, if we look at it, Force had a monstrous showing.
Yeah, I think there's some poetry to Force showing up in this game. You know, maybe you can call me a sentimental or romantic. I just enjoy seeing Forrest, you know, playing one of his best game of the tournament at this point in time. Obviously rocking up 86 ADR, which is good, almost 0.9 kills per round. That's really high above
nice.
the average. On the other hand, X7 had a little bit of a more quiet game
Well, they got
compared to the other
16-2'd
map.
as well, right?
Yes, it's like stats are a little bit skewed in that regard. You know, I think it was a team loss more than an individual failing, really.
Ariel was the only individual that stood up, and I think he only had 10 kills. So if that paints the picture of how badly shellacked they got on that last map, it just was a complete whitewash. But I agree. Like, it's quite poetic, it's quite romantic that the two players of GetRight and Forest had their best series of the tournament here to secure the spot in the major. That's the picture that we painted from the very beginning, that these guys have the most experience, that they should be able to turn up in the bigger matches when it matters, and they had a really rough road. To get here was a struggle. To get here they were doubting themselves, but they got it done.
But it was definitely no yoking matter there going into that last map. They closed it out pretty convincingly across Inferno. And quite frankly, we can actually take a look at the brackets really quickly so that you understand what is about to transpire, what has already transpired within the final brackets. Of course, Ence and Optic Gaming. Optic take a 2-1 there to secure their grand final position, and where in which we just waited for the finale of Nip and Ence. And you did see the Ninjas close this one out on Inferno 2-0. So now that sets the stage for Ninjas in Pajamas versus Optic Gaming. And you know what, Chad? Are you hyped? Or are you just hyped?
I think it can be a really exciting match because both teams have really achieved what they've come here to do, and it's going to be a looser style of CS. Maybe we'll see some more interesting maps in the veto. Already this series has delivered with a 3-mapper earlier on where NIP struggled back through an overpass and took that victory, taking the only map off of Optic throughout this entire tournament. So when you're keeping... Oh no, they lost a map in there. Never mind. The point is, it could be a good one.
It could be a good one, and it likely will be. And also the best one I could tell you about, and you know what? It just gets me so right there on the edge when I tell you about FACEITMajor.com/giveaway. Head over there right now. It's the only way you're going to win all these points. And we've got a boatload more points to give your way. The only way you're going to win them, though, is if you have your YouTube account linked to your FACEIT account. That's it. There's no other way. And I mean, there is nothing that you can do to win the points other than that. Now, with that said, guys, tell them where they can go on social media.
Hashtag FACEITMiner.
Boom.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, get them all activated, get them all juicing, get them flowing, send some tweets. You've been doing a great job all week.
It's true, and I was actually pleasantly surprised by the amount of sponge stickers we did get to see today. Now, with that said, we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we've got yet one more best of 3. It's going to be Optic Gaming taking on the Ninjas in Pajamas here for the grand finals of the European Minor. We'll be right back.